That feeling of distance isn't a problem to be solved. It is the definitive physical proof that you have already begun a massive quantum transition. If you feel this distance lately, you've already started the transition. This isn't psychology you are experiencing. It is physics. It is the scientifically observable phenomenon of vibrational resonance, or more accurately, the sudden lack of it. In the next 50 minutes, I am going to show you the science of why this is happening, why your relationships are changing, and how this profoundly uncomfortable feeling of separation is actually the most reliable sign that your entire reality is in the process of a fundamental upgrade. This isn't a spiritual metaphor. The principles that govern this feeling are the same principles that underpin quantum mechanics. Your consciousness, your very state of being, is a broadcast. You are emitting a frequency into the quantum field, and you have been doing it your entire life. But recently, without your conscious permission, that frequency has shifted. It has become clearer, higher, more coherent, and the old world, the world that was built around your previous signal, simply can no longer decode you. For months, maybe even years, you have been feeling this growing chasm, a subtle static in conversations that once flowed with ease, a strange sense of being a stranger in rooms that used to feel like home. You feel a distance from people you love, from hobbies you once cherished, from ambitions that once defined you. And with that distance comes a quiet, haunting anxiety, a voice that whispers, "What is wrong with me? Am I depressed? Am I broken? Have I become cold or uncaring? Did I do something wrong on my spiritual path to deserve this isolation?" You feel guilty for the distance. You feel confused by it. You feel profoundly alone in it, because when you try to explain it, the words fall flat. Listen to me very closely. You did nothing wrong. You did everything right. That feeling of isolation, that painful gap you can't explain, is not a punishment. It is not a sign of failure. It is the trophy you have already earned. It is the physical, measurable evidence that you have done the deep internal work, and your energetic signature has permanently changed. You have leveled up, and the old game can no longer render your new character. If this scientific, evidence-based approach to what you're experiencing resonates with you, hit the like button now. It tells the algorithm that this validation is needed and helps it find others who feel just as isolated. To understand this, let's stop thinking in terms of psychology and start thinking in terms of physics. Imagine your old self was a radio station, a comfortable AM broadcast on a familiar frequency. Everyone in your life had their dials tuned perfectly to your station. They knew your songs, your static, your rhythm, but your inner work, the healing, the learning, the releasing, it wasn't just changing your mind. It was recalibrating your entire broadcast tower. You are no longer an AM station. You are now broadcasting a crystal clear, high-fidelity FM signal. The static you hear, the distance you feel, is not a problem. It is an inevitability. It's the sound of an AM radio trying and failing to pick up an FM signal. They haven't changed. You have. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone you love and suddenly felt like you were speaking a completely different language? You are using the same words, but the resonance isn't there. That is the frequency mismatch in real time. It's not a personal failure. It's a law of physics. By the end of this, you will no longer fear this distance. You will see it as your personal quantum dashboard, confirming your new reality is being built. So how does this work? Let's move from metaphor to the mechanics, from feeling to physics. Everything that you are, your deepest thoughts, your most private emotions, your core beliefs about the world, they are not contained within your skull. They are a broadcast, an energetic, vibrational signature that you are constantly emitting into the quantum field. This isn't a spiritual platitude. It is observable science. If you want proof, look no further than the foundational experiment of quantum mechanics, the double-slit experiment. For decades, physicists have demonstrated that particles behave differently when they are being observed. The very act of a conscious observer looking at the experiment changes the outcome from a wave of infinite possibilities into a single, definite particle of experience. What does this prove? It proves that consciousness is not a passive passenger in the universe. Consciousness is the organizing principle. Your consciousness is the observer collapsing the infinite quantum field into the specific, tangible reality you call your life. The people you meet, the opportunities that find you the home you live in, they are not random. They are quantum possibilities that were selected and made real because they were a perfect resonant match for the vibrational signature you were broadcasting. Your reality is a mirror, reflecting the frequency of your consciousness. So what happens when, through deep inner work, self-reflection, or a sudden awakening, you don't just change your mind, you change your fundamental frequency? The mirror shatters. The old reality, which was built to resonate with your old signature, can no longer hold its form. It begins to dissolve because the observer that was holding it in place is no longer there. This is the precise, technical initiation of what we call the Quantum Detachment Phase. It is a necessary, non-negotiable decoupling of your observer consciousness from a reality that no longer matches your core frequency. It's a system upgrade. Your consciousness is intentionally pulling its energy and focus away from an outdated timeline before it fully de-resolves. Let's deepen our radio metaphor to make this crystal clear. Imagine your entire old life, your relationships, your career, your habits, was broadcast on a single frequency. Let's call it 88.7 FM, the station of past you. Everyone in your life, your family, your oldest friends, your colleagues, had their reality tuner dialed right to 88.7 FM. For years, the signal was clear. The conversations flowed. The connection was stable. You were all listening to the same music. But you began a process of transformation. You started meditating, questioning old beliefs, healing old wounds. With each step, you weren't just changing the song playing on the station. You were changing the broadcast frequency itself. You are no longer broadcasting on 88.7 FM. Through your evolution, you have now recalibrated your entire being to a new, higher, clearer frequency. You are now broadcasting, loud and clear, on 104.2 FM, the station of future you. It's a completely different wavelength carrying entirely new information, new potentials, new emotional tones. It is a more powerful and coherent signal, and this is the precise physical reason why your old connections are fading. It is not personal. It is not a rejection of you. It is energetic incoherence. Your friends and family are still faithfully tuned to 88.7 FM, waiting for your signal, but you're not there anymore. When they try to connect with you, all they receive is static, a faint ghost of the old broadcast. The conversations feel awkward and draining because you are literally, physically, no longer on the same wavelength. They talk about topics that belong to the old station, and your new frequency has nothing to offer that conversation. The silence isn't empty. It's filled with the interference between two incompatible signals. So this brings up the question, what is a quantum transition? In practical terms, it's this exact experience. It is the energetic space between who you were and who you are becoming. It's the perceived distance felt when your consciousness is broadcasting from 104.2 FM, while the world around you is still trying to find you back at 88.7. The feeling of disconnect is the sound of that vibrational gap. Think back to the very first person or situation where you felt this inexplicable gap appear. When did you first notice the frequency mismatch? Let that memory surface without judgment. See it not as a painful memory of loss, but as the first piece of data confirming your transition had begun. That was the moment your new broadcast started to overpower the old one. The profound error in most spiritual or self-help approaches is the attempt to fix the static. We are taught to work on our communication skills, to try harder, to run back to the old 88.7 FM broadcast tower, and desperately try to patch things up, to make the old signal work again. We pathologize the distance as a problem to be solved. But the new paradigm, the quantum paradigm, is radically different. The goal is not to fix the old failing signal. The goal is to clarify and strengthen the new one. Your work is not to make yourself understood by those tuned to the old frequency. Your work is to become the most pure, powerful, and coherent broadcast of your new frequency possible. Because the distance you feel isn't empty space. It is a vacuum, an energetic void being created by your new signal pushing out the old, incoherent reality. And according to the immutable laws of quantum physics, a vacuum cannot remain a vacuum. It demands to be filled. It must be filled. It will be filled by people, places, opportunities, and experiences that are perfectly, exquisitely tuned to 104.2 FM. The universe is not punishing you with distance. It is clearing the airwaves for your new reality to arrive without interference. 4. Your entire life you have been taught to see yourself as a receiver, a radio, passively scanning the dials of reality, trying to find a clear station, trying to tune into conversations, relationships, and opportunities that already exist out there. You've been trying to adjust your antenna, to reduce the static, to get a better signal from a world that seems to be broadcasting on a frequency that is drifting away from you. And so the distance feels like a failure of your equipment. It feels like you are broken. This is the most profound misunderstanding of your power. And right now, in this moment, we are going to correct it. What if I told you that you are not the radio at all? You are the broadcast tower. Let that sink into the very core of your being. The entire phenomenon of distance you are experiencing is not happening to you. It is being generated by you. The deep internal work you have done, the consciousness you have cultivated, the frequency you have fought so hard to raise, it has turned you into a powerful transmitter. Your being is now broadcasting a signal of such high fidelity, such clarity, and such power that it is creating a coherent energetic field around you. And by the fundamental laws of physics, anything that is not a vibrational match to that broadcast is gently, but inexorably, pushed out of your field. This is the central paradox. We believe we are losing our connections. The truth is, we are actively creating a new reality so powerfully that it is displacing the old one from our energetic orbit. The distance is not an emptiness that is appearing. It is the physical space being created by the force of your new signal. It is a necessary consequence of your own emergent power. You didn't get left behind. You generated a wave so strong that the old shore simply couldn't hold you anymore. Why does this change everything? Because it means the distance you feel is not a measure of what you have lost. It is a direct, quantifiable measure of your creative power. It means you are not a victim of circumstance, but the primary architect of a new world. It means the pain of isolation is not a punishment, but the growing pains of your own divinity taking up more space. It means the more acute the distance, the more awkward the silence is, the more profound the disconnect, the more powerful and clear your new broadcast has become. You have been looking at the single greatest metric of your success and interpreting it as a sign of failure. This is the moment that ends. This revelation completely transforms your approach. You stop trying to fix the distance. You stop chasing after people, trying to explain yourself, trying to build bridges back to a reality that no longer resonates. That is like a powerful FM tower trying to weaken its own signal, just so an old AM radio can pick it up as static. It is a betrayal of your own energetic integrity. The work is no longer external. The work is not in relationship management. The work is in signal clarification. Your only job is to go inward and focus on the purity and power of your own broadcast, to embody the frequency of the reality you wish to inhabit with such conviction that it becomes the dominant signal in your field. This is the key to how to navigate a consciousness shift. You shift from managing external relationships to mastering your internal broadcast. You let the physics of resonance handle the rest. The universe is the most efficient sorting mechanism in existence. It will handle the logistics. It will manage the comings and goings. Your role is not to be the manager. Your role is to be the source. This transforms your very identity. You are not a friend who has grown apart. You are a creator clearing the canvas for a masterpiece. You are not losing your past. You are making sacred space for your future. The identity of the lonely person dissolves, and a new one emerges. You are a quantum broadcaster, and you are broadcasting the frequency of a new earth, a new way of being, a new potential for humanity. The distance you feel is simply the space required for that new world to manifest around you, unobstructed by the dense static of the past. Now let this thought land, not in your mind, but in your heart. Let it dissolve any lingering feeling of personal rejection or failure. What if the people and situations falling away aren't leaving you, but are simply unable to resonate with the power of the new signal you are now broadcasting? They are not rejecting you. They simply can no longer perceive you. This transition isn't theoretical. It's leaving fingerprints all over your life. This profound shift from who you were to who you are becoming is not an abstract idea. It's a physical process, an energetic event that creates real-world evidence. And you've likely been misinterpreting this evidence as problems, as signs that something is wrong with you. It's time to learn how to read the data correctly. Here are 3 undeniable signs of the quantum detachment phase. 3 pieces of evidence you can see in your life right now that prove your new broadcast is live, powerful, and changing your reality from the inside out. The first, and perhaps the most painful sign, is the emergence of awkward silences in familiar conversations. Think about it. You're with a friend, a family member, someone you have years of history with. The conversation follows its usual path, touching on the same topics it always has: work gossip, complaints about a mutual acquaintance, rehashing old stories. But this time, something is different. There is a lag, a static. You find yourself with nothing to say, not because you are angry or withdrawn, but because the topic itself feels energetically barren. It's like trying to draw water from a dry well. The words come out, but they have no life force. Silences that fall between you are no longer comfortable. They are heavy with an unspoken dissonance. You've been telling yourself you're becoming antisocial. You've been judging yourself for not being a good friend, for not being able to engage like you used to. This is a complete misreading of the data. That awkwardness is the sound of a frequency mismatch. Your consciousness, your broadcast tower, is now emitting a signal of such a high and different vibration that it no longer finds resonance with those old data streams. The information being presented in that conversation literally cannot lock onto your new frequency. It is incoherent data. That feeling of being drained isn't a social failure. It is the physical sensation of your energy field rejecting information that is no longer a vibrational match. You are not losing your ability to connect. You are losing your tolerance for low-coherence communication. The static you feel is the most beautiful proof that your signal is becoming clearer. It is an energetic boundary line being drawn in the quantum field. And when you recognize it, you can stop judging yourself and simply observe, this is no longer my frequency. That silence isn't empty. It's a sign of your fullness. The second sign is even more unsettling for those of us who are driven. A sudden and profound apathy towards your old goals. That career path you spent a decade building, the one that was supposed to be your masterpiece? Suddenly, the thought of the next step feels hollow. That ambition that got you out of bed every morning with fire in your soul now feels like a story about someone else. The finish lines you were sprinting towards now look like arbitrary marks on a map you're no longer using. And the mind, conditioned for conditional achievement, panics. It labels this as depression, as burnout, as a lack of discipline. It tells you that you are failing, that you are losing your edge. This is not a loss of ambition. It is an upgrade of destination. Your new broadcast is locked onto a reality so different, so much more expansive than the one your old goals belonged to, that those goals have been rendered obsolete. They are coordinates for a territory you have already left. The reason they feel hollow is because they are. Your energy, your consciousness, is no longer animating them. It's like looking at a blueprint for a house you've decided not to build. The plans are still there, but your creative life force has been withdrawn. This apathy is a sacred signal from your future self. It is your soul's navigation system intervening, telling you to stop wasting energy climbing a ladder that is leaning against the wrong reality. The emotional deadness you feel towards an old goal is the clearest indicator that the goal itself exists at a lower frequency than the one you are now broadcasting. Your broadcast is set to a new destination, one that your conscious mind may not even be able to see yet, but your energetic body is already moving towards. The distance you feel from your old drive isn't a problem. It's the proof you're on the right track. The third sign is the most subtle and the most powerful. It is the feeling of becoming an observer in your own life. Dramas that used to pull you in, conflicts at work or within your family that would once have consumed your emotional energy, now unfold in front of you like a film. You see the moving parts. You understand the motivations. You can even feel compassion for the characters, but you are not in it. There is a thin, clean pane of glass between you and the chaos. You watch old patterns play out without the familiar emotional charge, without the hook that used to pull you onto the stage. This can be mistaken for dissociation or emotional numbness, a fear that you are losing your heart, your empathy. What is actually happening is far more advanced. You are witnessing the physical proof of your consciousness detaching its energy from an old timeline. Before that timeline completely dissolves, your higher self, your core broadcast, is pulling its energetic investment out of reality constructs that are no longer part of your future. It's an act of profound energetic conservation. By not feeding the old dramas with your emotional reaction, you stop sustaining them within your field. You are literally letting that world fade away by withdrawing your observation of it. This is not dissociation. It is ascension. It is the mark of a master who understands that where you place your focus is where you place your reality. Feeling like an observer is the final stage before the old set is dismantled and the new one is revealed. It is the ultimate sign that your new broadcast is so stable, so coherent, that the noise of the old world can no longer penetrate its field. Which of these signs, the awkward silences, the apathy, to old goals, or the feeling of being an observer, have you been judging yourself for? Let that judgment dissolve now, in the light of this new understanding. These are not problems to be fixed. They are your quantum dashboard indicators. When you see them, the correct response is not worry. It is, my new broadcast is strong today. In the comments, share which of these 3 signs you've been experiencing the most: awkward silences, apathy, or the observer. Let's create a powerful field of validation for everyone on this path. I read every single comment to witness your journey and to let the algorithm know that this confirmation is needed in the world right now. By sharing your sign, you validate someone else's, and we collectively anchor the truth of this transition. You understand this intellectually. You see the evidence in your life. Now let's feel the frequency you are broadcasting. Let's embody this new reality. This is the moment we move from understanding the map to walking the territory. I invite you, if you feel safe and comfortable to do so, to gently close your eyes. Or if you prefer, simply soften your gaze and find a point in the room to rest your attention. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, release the need to analyze. Release the need to figure anything out. Just for these next few moments, your only task is to feel, to be. First, let's acknowledge the world you've been navigating. Without opening your eyes, I want you to sense the energetic field around you, the field of your old reality. Feel the static we've been talking about. Maybe it feels like a low hum of anxiety, a subtle pressure of expectation from others. Perhaps you can sense the faint echoes of conversations that drain you, the residue of obligations that no longer fit. Don't resist this feeling. Don't judge it as wrong. Simply acknowledge it, lovingly. This static is the evidence of a world built on a frequency that is no longer yours. It is the background noise of a station you no longer listen to. See it for what it is: old data, old light, an old song winding down. Just notice it, surrounding you, without engaging it. Now, I want you to bring all of your awareness away from that periphery, away from the static. Draw your attention inward, deeper, past the surface thoughts, past the fleeting emotions. Bring your focus to the very center of your being. For some, this might feel like the center of the chest, the heart space. For others, it might be the solar plexus, a point of quiet power in your core. Find your own center, and in that center, I want you to sense something different, something quiet, something pure. This is the broadcast tower. This is the origin point of your true self, your core signal. Feel it. It might be subtle at first, like a single clear note in a room full of noise. It might be a warmth, a point of light, a feeling of profound stillness. This signal is not trying to be heard. It simply is. It is the frequency of your highest truth, your deepest knowing. It is coherent, powerful, unwavering. This signal has been broadcasting throughout your entire life, patiently waiting beneath the noise. Take a moment to connect with this feeling. This is you. This is the unshakable truth of who you are becoming. Now, from this silent, powerful center, we are going to calibrate your new broadcast. But you don't have to do anything. You only have to allow. Give this core signal permission to expand. Imagine it, feel it, sense it. As this pure, clear frequency begins to ripple outwards from your center, It's not a force. It is a gentle, inevitable unfolding, like the petals of a flower opening to the sun. Feel this coherent field of your true self expanding through your body, filling every cell with its clarity and peace. And now, feel it expand beyond your physical body, moving out into the space around you. Watch. What happens as this pure broadcast touches the static of the old reality? It doesn't fight it. It doesn't push against it. The static simply dissolves in the presence of this higher coherence. The low hum of anxiety is quieted by the peace of your core frequency. The pressure of expectation loses its grip, unable to resonate with your authentic field. The old conversations, the old dramas, they become irrelevant. They fade into nothingness, like shadows in the presence of a brilliant light. The static does not need to be cleared. It is simply rendered obsolete by the power of your new broadcast. Feel your signal continuing to expand, creating a clear, resonant, powerful field of energy around you, a bubble of pure coherence. This feeling, this clarity, this is your new reality taking form. The distance you have been feeling from the outside world is not empty space. It is this. It is the sacred space now filled with the purity of your own signal. It is a sovereign field that can no longer sustain connection to that which is out of alignment. The distance is not a void. It is a sanctuary you have built with your own being. Stay with this feeling for another moment. This is home. And from this space of embodied certainty, gently begin to bring your awareness back. Feel the ground beneath you. Notice the air on your skin. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. As you connect with that core frequency, what one word describes? The feeling at the center of the distance? Is it peace? Is it clarity? Freedom? Find your word. Let it land in your heart. Hold on to that word. That is your truth. You are no longer someone who is feeling distant. Let that identity fall away. It was a temporary label for a profound transition, a symptom you no longer need to identify with. From this moment, you are a quantum broadcaster, consciously and deliberately in the process of calibrating a new reality. This is not a passive experience happening to you. It is a creative process you are now directing. The feeling of certainty you just embodied is your foundation. Now we build the operational headquarters on top of it. We move from being the signal to becoming the master of the broadcast tower itself. I am going to give you 3 practical high-performance tools to integrate this knowledge into every moment of your life, transforming you from a passenger in this transition into the pilot. The first tool is the simplest and most powerful navigation system you will ever own. It's called the resonance check. For the rest of your life, before you engage in any activity, before you answer any call, before you agree to any meeting, before you even continue a conversation that feels draining, you will pause even for just a millisecond and ask yourself one question. Does this amplify my core broadcast, or does it create static? That's it. The question isn't, is this good or bad, or what should I do? Those questions come from the old mind, the ego trying to manage a reality it no longer controls. This new question is a question of physics. It's an energetic diagnostic. You're not making a moral judgment. You are reading a frequency meter. Does this person, this place, this opportunity, this memory make your core signal clearer, stronger, and more coherent? Or does it introduce noise, fuzziness, and interference? Your embodied certainty, that feeling you connected with just moments ago, is your barometer. You will feel the answer instantly. It will be a physical sensation. Amplification feels like expansion, lightness, clarity, and peace. Static feels like contraction, heaviness, confusion, and anxiety. This single question replaces thousands of hours of indecisive mental debate. An invitation comes from a group of old friends. You don't need to weigh the pros and cons. You simply perform the resonance check. You hold the thought of going, and you feel your internal signal. Does it become brighter or dimmer? The answer is your only truth. This is how you begin to consciously engineer a life of pure resonance. The second tool addresses the past. It's for all the people, situations, and old identities that still have energetic hooks in your field, creating a drag on your new frequency. We call this the loving release ritual. Guilt is a low-frequency anchor. Regret is a form of static. The old paradigm of cutting cords is violent and incomplete. It often leaves energetic wounds. We are not cutting anything. We are dissolving connections with love, freeing both ourselves and the other person to align with our own true realities. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed for just a few minutes. Close your eyes and bring to mind a person, a job, a past version of yourself, or a situation that you know is no longer a vibrational match. See it or them in your mind's eye with clarity and compassion. First, acknowledge the role they played. Thank them silently in your heart. Every connection, no matter how painful, was part of the data stream that helped you awaken to your new frequency. So, genuinely, thank them for their contribution to your journey. Now visualize the energetic cords that connect you to them. Don't see them as ropes to be cut, but as streams of light, perhaps now clouded with old expectations, misunderstandings, and obligations. Place your awareness on these streams of light. Then from your core broadcast tower, from that center of pure signal, you are going to radiate the frequency of unconditional love and freedom. Imagine a brilliant, warm, golden light flowing from your heart down these energetic streams. As this light touches the cords, they don't break. They dissolve. They transform from solid connections into free-flowing particles of light that return to you and to the other person, cleansed and purified. You are not taking anything back or cutting anything off. You are returning their energy to them and reclaiming your energy for yourself. You are releasing them, with love, to find the reality that resonates with them now, and you are releasing yourself to fully embody your own. Feel the space this creates in your energy field. It's not emptiness, it's potential. It's a clean slate. The third and final tool is about proactive creation. It's called signal amplification. Many spiritual practices focus on emptying the mind, on becoming nothing. That is a valuable skill for detaching from the old. But as a quantum broadcaster, your job is to fill the field with something new. So for 5 minutes every single day, you will do the opposite of clearing your mind. You will consciously and intentionally broadcast the frequency of your desired reality. This is how you build your new world. Find a comfortable position. Instead of trying to silence your thoughts, you are going to choose a specific thought, a specific feeling. Ask yourself, what is the emotional frequency of the reality I am now creating? Is it sovereign freedom? Is it profound peace? Is it creative inspiration? Is it unconditional love? Choose one. Don't think about the specifics of what it will look like. The house, the job, the relationship. Those are the hows, and the hows are not your job. Your job is the frequency. Focus only on the feeling. Let that feeling fill your entire being. Feel the freedom in your cells. Feel the peace in your breath. Feel the inspiration in your heart. Embody it so completely that it becomes your dominant state of being. Then, from the center of your chest, your broadcast tower, imagine that feeling radiating outwards in all directions. It's a coherent signal, a powerful wave expanding from you into the quantum field, instructing the field on how to organize itself around you. This isn't wishing. This isn't hoping. This is a command. It is the act of being the reality you choose before you see the evidence of it. You do this consistently, and the universe has no choice but to start delivering people, opportunities, and synchronicities that are a perfect match for that broadcast. This is the answer to the pain of feeling distant during spiritual awakening. You don't fix the distance, you amplify your signal. And this brings us to the final integration framework, the most liberating truth of all. Your only job is to maintain the clarity and power of your broadcast. That's it. Your only responsibility is to use the resonance check to navigate your choices, the loving release ritual to clear your past, and signal amplification to build your future. You do not have to worry about the logistics. You don't have to figure out how certain people will leave your life or how new people will find you. You don't have to orchestrate your career change or your move to a new city. The quantum field is the master logistician. It is an infinitely intelligent system designed to organize reality around the clearest, most coherent signals within it. Your job is the frequency. The universe's job is the form. Maintain your broadcast and watch as the world rearranges itself to match your music with a grace and perfection you could never have planned. So now, let's make this real. What is the first old habit or relationship you will lovingly release from your field, knowing it's no longer a vibrational match? Committing to this act creates a powerful vacuum for the new to arrive. You now understand the quantum detachment phase. You see the distance not as a loss, but as the irrefutable evidence of your power. You have the tools to move from being a victim of this change to being the conscious quantum broadcaster of your new reality. But this detachment, this sacred space you have so courageously cultivated, was never the final destination. It is a temporary, necessary phase. It's designed to clear your signal of all the static, all the interference, all the inherited beliefs of a world that no longer fits you. The purpose of a clear signal is not isolation. It's to make a new, clearer connection possible, a connection based on pure resonance. Once your frequency is stable, powerful, and broadcasting without distortion, something miraculous begins to happen. The universe, which abhors a vacuum, starts connecting you with other broadcasters on the exact same frequency. This isn't wishful thinking. It's a process governed by a fundamental law of physics known as quantum entanglement. You have learned to operate your broadcast tower. Now, you will discover that you are part of a galactic network of other towers, all broadcasting on the same new frequency of consciousness, all searching for each other across the field. Now that you understand how to broadcast your true self, what if you could start receiving signals from the exact people and opportunities that have been searching for your unique frequency? This is the next logical step in your mastery. We will explore this in our next video, titled Quantum Entanglement Explained: Why Your New Soul Tribe Already Feels You. And from there, we will master the signs of this new connection in synchronicity. Is a skill, not a coincidence. Here's how to master it. Subscribe and turn on all notifications. In our next video, Quantum Entanglement Explained: Why Your New Soul Tribe Already Feels You, we explore how this phase of detachment ends and the new phase of profound connection begins. You have done the hard part. Don't miss the reward. The distance you feel is the silence before the symphony. You have cleared the stage. Now prepare for the new cast to arrive. A new cast,